Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, Forbearance Bootcamp with MAPS Coach Christina Griffin. Please note this webinar is being recorded and you will automatically receive the webinar recording. If you have questions for your coach, please type them into the questions box located in your webinar taskbar. Following the webinar, if you have any questions about today's call or coaching programs, please email us at fasttrack@kw.com. That's FASTTRACK@kw.com. That's all for me, Christina. Take it away.
Awesome. Thank you, Carlos. And thank you everyone for being here. So I'm going to start off by just introducing myself, and I've prepared quite a bit of data for you, and we're going to have some fun exercises and interactive through this process. So first and foremost, my name is Christina Griffin. I am a MAPS coach. I am a team leader of an expansion team in Middle Florida. We're in 10 different Keller Williams market centers. I've been an agent since 2001. I personally, and I always say, inspect what you expect. Check out on Zillow. You'll see our solds and our stats. Our team has about 500 reviews and has sold over 4,000 residential properties. We've sold thousands of transactions that are bank foreclosures, hundreds of transactions that are short sales. I have a ton of experience. So the things that I'm going to teach you and the things I teach through my MAPS course that is getting ready to launch June 15th again, or things that I personally have implemented and things that you can implement into your business to impact you in a really, really big way. So I just want to share with you, first and foremost, a little bit of data. So bear with me on this because it's going to get into our context. First and foremost, forbearance does not mean forgiveness. Forbearance is being lifted, and I want to go through a little bit of what I've put together for you guys, and then we're going to dive into a lot of the content and meat of what I'm going to teach you today. So as of March 2021, about 2/3 of homeowners who signed up for some type of mortgage forbearance during the COVID-19 pandemic have exited the program. According to new research from New York Federal Reserve, only 35% of borrowers, but that's 2.2 million homeowners who signed up for forbearance remain in the program. And this is the New York Fed has recently advised this. But those who remain in forbearance typically have lower credit scores and they're more in the lower income neighborhoods, making them more susceptible for losing their homes when these programs end later this year, which are actually happening the end of June. As you know, our federal government, they have seemed to continue to kick the can, and it can continue to happen. But right now, it's the end of June, and I'll show you that. So many of the current forbearance programs were set up in the CARES Act last year and apply to federally backed mortgages offered through agencies including Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, the Federal Housing Administration, and the Department of Housing and Urban Development. So that's HUD, FHA, VA. Private lenders and servicers also set up their own forbearance programs. So each and every forbearance program with each and every servicer is different. So I teach you how to navigate that and be successful helping your clients provide solutions. So the report found that those who have FHA-backed mortgages were more prone to enter into forbearance. That's because these mortgages are typically held with first-time home buyers who live in lower to middle income areas. About 70% of all homeowners still in forbearance are not making any payments. In the worst case scenario, the researchers estimate is that about 2.9% of all mortgage borrowers could end up in delinquency. That means the serious delinquency rate, which is defined as payments that are over 90 days late, would shoot up from 0.9 to 3.8. Okay, so what does this mean for you? We're going to dive into what that looks like so you can help and impact as many people as possible. So what that means is the good news is this will perhaps not be a wave of foreclosures that some experts predict would occur this fall once these forbearance programs start to wind down. what we need to understand is our job is to offer solutions to people that need our help. So what I'm telling you is it could potentially not be a wave of foreclosures. However, I'm going to show you some pretty interesting numbers on how many notice of defaults and homes are actually in pre-foreclosure. Right now, we need to learn to become a community expert and help the people in our world and help educate them on what their options are. So my program that we have, and I'm excited for another launch. Today was actually the last day of the current launch that we have, and we went through foreclosures on the REO side, how to prospect, how to create REO relationships, and how to become an REO agent. So I teach you everything from how to identify properties on the foreclosure calendar, how to prospect for off-market properties, about 40 to 50 different types of properties, including probate and properties with liens, HOA liens, how to locate properties through official records, how to work with clients through the entire short sale process, investors, becoming a hunter to look at properties that are not listed. Many of you hear about the off-market term. I'm going to teach you how to navigate that, in addition to working with buyers on the REO side, sellers on the REO side, large institutional clients, and one of my favorite things is how to be a big game hunter. Many of you have not even wrapped your head around the potential of working with clients that could lead to hundreds of opportunities. So that's a lot of what I teach, and you truly can learn how to work with iBuyers, hedge funds, banks, institutional clients that could lead to hundreds of transactions. Make sure to check out MAPS Coaching, Tom.Foster at KW, as well as the MAPS Coaching at Fast Track at Fast Track. A email that Carlos has shared is a great solution and a great opportunity for you to reach out to see what programs we have and how it can help you. As you know, this is a free training, and we have a lot of awesome opportunity and options with MAPS Coaching, as well as coaches that can help coach you through what I'm going to teach you to be successful. Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of basics around forbearance, and then
Coach Christina, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure there seems to be a few people that can't hear. Can you please, in the questions box, let us know if you can hear this webinar?
I can't see any of that.
Perfect. Okay, it must be on there. And
Okay.
apologies, Christina.
Can you hear me okay?
Everybody can, I can, and it seems like mostly everybody can, so we're good.
Okay, awesome. You guys may want to reboot. That's helpful too, if you can't hear, or plug in via phone. So awesome, Carlos. Thank you for interrupting me, because obviously technology is kind of funny sometimes. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you just a little bit of because this is why we're here, is a little bit of overview of what forbearance is. Many of you are in forbearance. Many of you know people in forbearance, or some of your clients are in it. Can you believe it's been over a year that forbearance has been happening, and COVID has, I'd say, been a situation in our life. And right now, we see, I'm not going to say a light at the end of the tunnel, but they have advised, and Carlos, if you cannot see my screen, let me know. I just went to the Internet Explorer to share. So they've extended foreclosure and eviction ban to June 30th. So as of right now, 18 months of potential payments have not been paid by millions of homeowners. And this is as of right now, expiring June 30th. Now, I want you to understand, and I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint because I want you to understand that Forbearance does not mean forgiveness. Yes, this is not like 2008. Yes, there's more equity. However, if a homeowner has not paid their mortgage payment for 18 months and those payments get added on to what they owe because they're not being forgiven, that eats up, in most cases, most of their equity. So that puts them into a potential short sale, potential default if they cannot pay their forbearance agreement. And keep in mind, every servicer is going to have a different repayment plan. Our job as agents is to provide, educate, and help these homeowners with give them solutions in the biggest way possible. So 3 months of consecutive failed payments, when they become public record, that normally constitutes as a pre-foreclosure. Agents can educate homeowners about their options. Right now, it's our job to educate them about their options. My course will teach you how to do that. However, educating them about their options is going to be, if they're not in forbearance, they have a very small window to be able to get into it. Refinance, putting the house on the market, doing a short sale, potential a loan modification, and worst case, letting the house go into foreclosure or deeding the property back to the bank, which I do not recommend, because right now they're going to tell you, when you call and say, can I do a deed in lieu of foreclosure? They're going to say, go find a real estate agent that can help you sell the property. Many cases, the homeowner is already going to be in forbearance. Sale price in pre-foreclosure stage may be higher than the sale price of the foreclosed property, and the stage of pre-foreclosure ends with notice of default. That's when it becomes public record that the person that lives in the home is default on their mortgage. So I'm going to show you some ways to be able to help impact your community and people that you know, like, trust, people in your world that may have not been in default. But I'm going to show you some numbers. This is a system I use called PropStream. I highly, highly recommend it on every level. It's free for the first 7 days. Now, I show you through our course on how to use this and in our highly interactive Facebook group. But I want to wrap your head around this. It's the only comprehensive program I found that pulls the entire US. 46 million pre-foreclosures that their system has pulled in May of this year. So 46 million. So many of you may think we're not in a foreclosure era currently, or it's not going to be the way it was in 2008. However, there's 46 million per their system pre-foreclosures that just got pulled. There are 130 million people in the US that have involuntary liens on their properties. There's 3.5 million that are in pre-probate. There's 2.5 million that are post office reported vacancies on homes. There are 67 million people in bankruptcy. What this says to me, and this is a small overview, and I'm going to show you a little bit of their system. This says to me that there is a ton of opportunity to be a community expert and help people in our world. And a lot of us don't realize how much data is at our fingertips to be able to help people and provide solutions. So picture all of this data. If you had the right message to be able to help them in targeted messages based upon what they're going through and becoming that community expert, we're going to impact a lot of lives. So many of these people that may be in pre-foreclosure or may have involuntary liens or vacant homes because they're absentee owners that have not came back in the States, they could be in forbearance. So there's going to be a lot of visibility the end of June on when those forbearance agreements default. We need to become those experts, offer solutions before they default. The market is strong enough right now that we can help sell their homes. We can help provide solutions before they become in default and be able to help them with solutions. Okay, so I'm going to go back to just a little bit of data. Given the soaring costs we're seeing in almost every aspect of our lives, the end of forbearance programs and rent moratoriums, coupled with the age of boomers who owned 42% of the inventory dam is already starting to leak. Shortage is coupled with commodity prices. So what that means is if you haven't been following what's happening in the commodities market, perhaps the most startling statistics are how much the cost of wood, copper, and steel have increased. The cost of plywood has increased approximately 250%. Copper is at an all-time high. Steel is at an all-time high. So material costs are soaring, and those shortages are also impacting inventory. So we need to be able to offer solutions to the people that need our help, and then help them with that next phase of their life, whether it's a rental, helping them into an apartment, helping them relocate. So it's really important that we help people that need our help. So given the soaring costs we're seeing in almost every aspect, we need to really learn what the options are for people in our world. So what does pre-foreclosure mean for sellers? They can potentially reverse the default status. They can sell at market value to settle debts. They can sell as a short sale, they can go into foreclosure, or they can potentially already be in forbearance. So in order to qualify for a short sale, I want you to understand not everyone in forbearance, not everyone in pre-foreclosure is a short sale candidate. They have to owe more on the home than what the home is worth. Now, I help you through that process. I help teach you that process. So they have to owe more than market value. They have to demonstrate valid hardship, which could be the market or COVID. Seller must be severely financially strained. So that could be, I cannot pay the difference on what my home is worth based upon what I can sell it for. And the lender or bank must approve, which I teach you that process. It literally can happen in like 2 weeks or less. Okay, so the message to the seller. We need to emphasize that they owe less than what the property's worth. Use the looming foreclosure as impetus. Educate on the credit impact and long-lasting impact on what it could potentially be to their life. What I love about short sales right now, and I'm seeing with forbearance and short sales, is they are waiving the deficiency judgment. That's not a guarantee, but trying to waive that deficiency judgment will help their long-lasting impacts on their credit. Educate provide them with their options, emphasizing the short sale benefits, and be proactive. Okay, so I'm gonna just do a screen share for you guys because I want to just share with you some details that you can implement into your business. So I just want to show you this particular system, and the only reason I'm showing you this is because I showed you the data. So I want you to understand that forbearance does not mean forgiveness. And what I would say around forbearance boot camp is being a community expert. Now I'm in Florida, so I'm going to pick the furthest on the other side of the U.S. and I'm going to pick Los Angeles just to show you just data in general and how we can look at our neighborhood and our world when we have it at our fingertips. And I'm going to teach you through our course on how to become a community expert and help the people in your world. And I want you to understand that people that you know, like, and trust, people that may live in your neighborhood, there may not be an active foreclosure. However, I'm going to show you via Los Angeles, there could be 17,312 people that have liens on their properties. There are 518 pre-foreclosures. I want you to start looking at things on data and how you can impact the relationship and become that expert in your community. So bank owned, I teach you how to pull the data and have the conversations and the resume and to be able to connect with the banks. There's 545 bank-owned properties in Los Angeles alone. So each state is different. Bankruptcy, there are 437. Divorce, and again, I'm just showing you data points because I want you to understand when you're in a neighborhood and you are in a direct community, if you can have the right message for that community that you live in, that community you farm, to be able to impact their lives. It's really going to help in a really big way. A lot of you only prospect for your sphere, expireds, and for sale by owners. This is going to open you up to what resonates with you. Many of you may be going through a divorce, and you may decide you want to work heavily with divorce, or you may have had a bankruptcy in the past. Tax delinquencies. There's over 20,000 in Los Angeles alone. People likely delinquent on their taxes could be likely delinquent on their mortgages or in forbearance. There's also pre-probate. There's failed listings. There's I'm just showing you, I want you to open your mind to the possibilities. IRS liens, HOA, mechanics liens, utility liens, solar liens, child support liens. And there's also absentee owners. Absentee owners are a big one. So absentee owners, here we go. We've got out of state, we've got out of country, and we've got local. And here's one of my favorite options to be able to do is actually going to the ownership data and putting people that own more than 2 properties. Okay? There's 160,000 people that own more than 2 properties. Now we go through that and we put people that own more than 10 properties. That can create so much opportunity. There's 60,000 people that own more than 10 properties. Okay, now I want you to keep in mind this data and these points that I'm showing you. 59 people that are have liens on their properties that own more than 10 properties. So learning how to utilize that data, being able to have the right message to impact the most lives is going to be important for you in your future and helping your community. Now, I want you to keep in mind, it's very, very, very important that you comply with the do not call. The do not call is something, and I'm going to just, because I want you to hear the latest updates on the do not call, is the Telephone Consumer Protection Act regulates any text messages made using certain technology. The TCPA includes the National Do Not Call Register and regulates telemarketing calls. Real estate agents who violate these laws face stiff regulatory penalties and or potential catastrophic legal damages. Contact an attorney to determine if your practice followed the TCPA guidelines. In addition to federal laws, several states have laws governing telemarketing. Consult an attorney to determine applicable laws in your area. Okay, so what does this mean? I showed you a bunch of awesome data. I showed you a lot of ways to be able to look at your area, reimagine your farm, help people that could potentially be in forbearance. During our course, I give you door hangers, flyers, I give you possibilities to be able to contact them, messages, ways to deliver content and value to them. Now, remember, do not call. Don't pick up the phone unless you have a system that scrubs the do not call each and every day and you have your own personal do not call. Now, mailers and door-to-door, the ROI is massive. So I'm going to teach you how to utilize those mailers. Now, just one particular system I love is just yellowletters.com. So learning how to prospect, learning how to have the messages, learning how to think differently and approach the people in your sphere and your farm are things that I teach you. Just a simple letter that looks like you hand wrote the letter to the people that you are sending to, whether your neighborhood, that data I showed you, and having a great call to action is going to be very powerful for you. As well as you can realign some of your spend or your advertising costs. I have a full-time runner that has targeted lists each and every day that they go to with the right message and goes to the door, and I call it ding dong ditch. They put something on the door, and people, when they get home from work, there is something that will help impact them based upon their situation. I've got about 6 different door hangers that we use based upon the content and the data. So again, open your mind to the potentials and the possibility that you can do to impact the lives in your world. Now, I'm going to highly recommend on every level you stay up to date to what's going on in our world. Black Knight is one of my favorite resources. Black Knight is a resource that feeds all the mortgage data into different reports all the different mortgage companies, they feed that data in. You'll see May 20th, a report just posted. It's under press releases, and it goes through the data and the systems and what's happening. So you'll see nearly 1.8 million first lien mortgages remain seriously delinquent, 1.3 million more than we're heading into the pandemic. So there is a spike in notice of defaults and pre-foreclosures, but a decline in forbearances because people are getting past that time frame where they can get into forbearance. So what I would tell you is we need to be able to offer solutions to our clients and be able to answer questions and help guide them to help them in their world and be able to help them in general. So I'm going to show you one other aspect of what I had planned today, and let me see if I have any questions. All right. Sorry, guys, for some reason I can't pop out the question box. Oh, here we go. All right. So I'm going to just take a few minutes because I see that there are some questions. I want to make sure to answer them. So if we navigated the 2008 to 2011 Great Recession in this field of business, is this a go-around similar to that? So what I want you to understand, I did not stop this field of business. And yes, there is a recording. You'll get that. I did not stop in this field of business in from the 2008 to 2011. What I would tell you, the difference now is there are systems and processes around short sales. Short sales are happening in a few weeks. There's simplicity in the process. So it is much better, the process now than what it was then. So I would definitely recommend always having this as a facet of your business, because remember, you're helping people create wealth, you're helping yourself potentially buy investment properties, and you're learning how to become a hunter to help people that know, like, and trust you, or your clients. Guys, I hope you sign up for my course. I would love to be able to teach you to help you impact as many lives as possible. It's only $295 for 3 months, and you will get a ton of value. We've got a highly interactive Facebook group. I answer questions after each session, and it's an hour packed of content. I'm going to answer as many of these questions as quickly as possible. The course starts June 15th, and next week we're going to start adding everyone that's signed up into the Facebook group, and you're going to get a bunch of letters and things to get started with. So just want to make sure, when she says people, does she mean include LLC owned properties? So I'm not sure exactly what you're referring to. So what I would tell you is there's a section on there to look at corporate owned entities. There's private, and there's also bank owned. So having that data and indicating where people are and what they're going through, it's in all different buckets, including commercial real estate. So pre-probate is prior. It's basically when the probate has just been filed prior to the process finishing. So it's a great time to learn that process, talk to the homeowners, create relationships with the attorneys, which I teach you how to build your team, from working with probate to divorce to bankruptcy, things to that nature. Okay. What kind of budget will we need for the course and all the services you will need to subscribe to? I'm going to show you how to do it for free, how to subscribe to certain situations or certain systems that your MLS provides for free. I'm also going to show you how to do sweat equity. And I'm going to show you as simple as this. This right here is something you can get hundreds of them off of Amazon with a bright neon colored paper that you can print in your office. And I'm going to show you the message. Many of you are going to have different budgets. So you're going to learn how to do sweat equity, where you can utilize your MLS systems, or you can utilize a system for a few $100s to pull the data and content. Or some of you may decide to go hard and heavy. And I've had clients that I've coached and taught that have done thousands of letters on REO to bank to distressed properties, and really honed in on creating inventory. So I want you to understand that there's a whole plethora of different ways to focus on this, from small budgets to larger. Now, I already have an SFR certification. What I want you to understand, SFR is like the encyclopedia version of the things that you need. I'm going to show you how to prospect for it, implement it, and how to actually put everything into action. It's $295 a month for 3 months. PropStream is for the first 7 days, it's free. Depending on the program that you sign up for, it's about $100 a month, but I'm going to teach you how to do that. They have how to pull phone numbers, send mailers, things like that. What I would also tell you is you can take Bold. In my course, it's all about prospecting. You're going to learn how to impact your community, how to create these opportunities, and you're going to hit your contact count and be able to take it through Bold, in my opinion. And I've done that personally myself. Okay, guys, I got just another minute. Please look in the chat on the MAPS coaching page, and it's working with foreclosures and short sales. Everything that I'm sharing with you are things that I personally have done. You can go to Zillow, look up my name. I have sold over 4,000 homes in a ton of off market. I work with investors that have bought and sold thousands of properties based upon the things that I'm teaching you. Yes, a single agent can work it and work successfully. You can also work and build systems within your market centers, short sale departments, really as big as you want to dream, you can do it. There are a ton of lives that we need to impact in our communities, and I'm going to teach you how to do that. But I'm going to teach you, many of you are short on inventory. I'm going to teach you how to become a hunter. I was a wholesaler, then I got my license. Yes, this right here, I will tell you, most of my training are what some of the top investors in the country have gone through. Those big expensive boot camps, I did those years ago. So I'm teaching you how to think like an investor, how to prospect, how to hunt for properties. You get the course for 60 days after the last class. And I do see some of my awesome coaching clients also commenting on that. Thank you, Tatiana. Guys, I have to go. I only get 30 minutes. I hope to see you on my next course launch. I look forward to getting to know you, help coaching you through success so you can impact a lot of lives in your community. So yes, Bruce, you'll get a recording. Make sure to check out if you like some other recordings I have on the MAPS Coaching YouTube page as well. So you guys are awesome, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye.